Welcome to my channel where you get quick tips that you can implement right away to help you grow your business. So why don't you go ahead and grab your favorite beverage? I already have mine.
Greetings, entrepreneurs. My name is Michelle Raleigh, aka 87preneur. And today's topic I want to talk about, as I've been doing across my social media channels, is about storytelling and why that is important for your brand. Because I believe storytelling also goes with building your email list. And this is something that I was kind of big on and still is big on at the beginning of the new year, because as we are entering a new year, new decade, there is new things that we want to do within our business. And I believe if you don't have an email list, you need to be building one. And another way that, and I'm trying to get this lighting together, so if you see me reaching my arm across here, this is what I'm doing. So what I wanted to come in and talk about is another way of growing your email list is to add stories into your social media platforms, into what it is that you do, how you do it, and how you help those who are your target audience. And stories can be so powerful because what they do is they connect your audience on a deeper level. It makes your brand seem more human. It makes you, be more relatable to your audience, to your target customers. So this way, it builds up that know, like, and trust factor. And I'll give you an example. Like when you see certain celebrities or maybe mentors, and they're finally, it could be like a talk show, and finally someone is coming on that talk show who they may have followed their career or something that they've done that was inspiring. And what they'll say to them most of the times I'll hear is, to me, you're that friend in my head, or you're that best girlfriend, or either you're that auntie, or you're that mother figure, or, so in my head, I just, look at you as this type of person. So we don't understand, and not just the characters that certain people play, it could also be the stories, the personal struggles and things that they have been through. I mean, when you look at so many different things that even maybe your favorite, celebrities, or maybe those who you follow on social media that could be coaches or mentors or people that you look up to, and you start hearing their personal stories. It could even be someone that you don't even know, that you just watch, I don't know, a documentary or something, and you feel a type of connection because they've been through some type of struggle, or they've been through some type of adversity, and you may have experienced that in your life as well. And now what makes you more connected to them is you feel their pain, you feel the things they've been through, or you feel, something that is a connection that makes you say, wow, this person is very strong, this person is very brave. And what that can do is it can motivate you, it can encourage you, it can strengthen you to, maybe if you're in this type of atmosphere or headspace where you're just depressed or whatever, you can listen to somebody's inspirational story of adversity that they've overcome, and you can say, well, wow, I have not even been through what they've been through, and if they can do it, then so can I. So it kind of makes that person seem in your eyes, while more relatable, like I said, and it makes you now feel as though you can move forward in your your journey on life. So how does that relate to your brand? How does that relate to you bringing across your products and services, and also telling stories with going along with that? So I want to kind of hit three main points within today's topic, because I believe that if you add this to your your social media blogs, your videos, and you can utilize stories throughout your social media marketing. And I'm just going to give you, before we get into those three quick tips, I'm going to give you some examples of ways that you can tell your stories. Just like I'm doing right now, video. You can cut on that camera and you can just share a story. Maybe it was something, an event that happened, along the course of your day, or something that you've overcome, or maybe something that, you thought was going to turn out this way, but it came out in your favor. I mean, there's so many things that you can share. You can share things that have, inspired you, that have, helped you in your journey of whatever it is that you're on, maybe a personal journey, maybe it was a health journey, a fitness journey, whatever that is. Or it could be something that, you sharing that maybe be a little bit more personal that you want to share because it's something that you want to just say, hey, it may be others out there who may get something out of this story. And that can be the connector that can connect your audience to your business and your brand. So ways you can tell, one is video. Now, another way is email. I mean, I get emails all the time of where I see influencers or people that I follow on social media, they'll share something maybe that happened in their business that went south, or maybe something that worked and, they're happy about it. Now they want to share that process with me. So there are so many ways that you can utilize your platforms to tell stories. And it doesn't have to be something that is a reach that you're making up. It's just something that is happening through the course of your life. Maybe something you've been through, maybe something that you're in the process of, and you need sometimes, you get cheerleaders or people to come on that bandwagon and keep you or hold you accountable. I mean, I see it all across social media. You'll have someone that's on a fitness journey. Maybe they have gained a lot of weight to the point where it is now causing them some, health risk, and it could even end in death if they don't take hold of it. So what they'll do is they'll be so vulnerable and put themselves out there. And, yeah, you're going to have some people that's going to come and say negative things or say things that are, inappropriate. But I think the people that come and cheer them on and look, for them to upload videos or however they're documenting their journey, they look for that support because that gives them the encouragement to say, I'm not alone in this. I'm not dealing with this issue behind the scenes, and they can be transparent to say, well, I went off on my diet today. I did kind of binge. I was in my feelings and I was just feeling down. And then you can have people come and they will just flood their comments and just be like, listen, we're here for you. We're encouraging you. Continue. We're cheering you on. So that's a great way, especially if you are brave enough to go ahead and put that out there. Then I commend you, because there's a lot of people who have done that, and I believe they have been successful in their journey. To see others now see the transformation that they've went through on that journey and what that can do, especially if they're going to take that and build a brand from that, they can help others who maybe have on a weight loss journey, but just kept failing at it. So now they can come and help them and encourage them and build a whole brand around how they overcame that, not only that mindset, but what did they do? How did they, eat? How did they exercise? Like what things particularly did they put in place to help them reach that goal? So that is why storytelling in your brand is so powerful, because it humanizes, again, your brand, and it brings your followers to relate to you on a deeper level than you just selling them something. So now that's video and email. And the next thing is a blog post. You can blog about, your journey. If you don't want to get on camera, you don't have to. You can just blog about it and say, I'm going to, document my journey. You can maybe take pictures or photos if you want to include that in your blog post, and just start, documenting it and allow it to go out to the masses that way. And then another way is podcasting. If you are shy of all those other ways of doing it, then you can just get on your iPhone or Android and you can just start documenting your journey as far as whatever that is, so you can get out those emotions, get out those feelings, and maybe in the process, help your target audience to now connect with you on a deeper level. I know there was one coach that when I first started out in this digital space, and even though, I was there for the content of them, being a master coach and following their journey as if, they're leading me to, get my business on track. But what connected me to them more on a deeper level was when they started to share their story, when they started to share their vulnerability, when they started to share things that was going on with them behind the scenes, when they started to share things, that you would have never known. And it just gave me such encouragement, because those things that they shared were things that I was battling with. Those were things that I had mindset issues about sometimes, education, because I didn't go to college and certain things like that. So when they shared their story about how they didn't have degrees and they didn't have all these things, and how they built their company from the ground up. It gave me the motivation, encouragement to say, wow, I can be successful too. And I don't have to use those things as excuses or allow that to stop me in my journey. So storytelling can be so powerful because it basically connects and humanizes. Again, I'm saying that word over and over again because I want you to understand the reason why, we're in business, not just to get to the dollar amount. Yes, we want to grow a successful business. You want to grow a successful business, right? But the whole point of it is to provide a transformation to those who buy your products and services. So you want to make sure that you're transforming them, not just them getting the product in your hand, but you want them to know that, listen, I deal with struggles just like you. I'm not a superhuman. I don't get it right all the time. There's things that I go through. And I believe that when we're comfortable with sharing different parts of our lives and our stories, it makes our brand more relatable. So now those 3 tips that I told you I was going to get to. Now, the first one is your brand story. So what was it, or what is it about your brand why did you start it? Why did you start in this space? What was the deciding factor that you say, I'm going to create this business because of? So when you understand why you started it, that's your story, because it's letting people know, well, what was the reason that you got into this business? Why did you start this? So for instance, my reason for being an entrepreneur is because this is something that I've always been in. This is something, even though we're in this digital space, I was an entrepreneur back before we even had internet, okay? Back when I was doing wedding event planning, I was making gift baskets, candles, I was making favors for like weddings and birthdays and all those types of, events. So I was always an entrepreneur at heart. But as we got into the digital space, and now it's more of you learning this space. Now you have to learn about algorithms and all of these things, SEO, things that we didn't know anything about when, this internet craze didn't hit. So now there's a lot of learning and things that we need to do, but it's okay. Because when you start relating that to your audience, then they start to know and like you and trust you because you're bringing them along the journey that you're on as well. So that's the first thing, is your brand story. Now, the second thing could be your customer's story. Because if you've already sold a product or service, I'm sure you should have some testimonials from your customers about how they liked your product or service. So now you can utilize that as your customer story. Like, what journey did they go through? Like, how did you help them? What did they feel about your product or service? Like, what is the story surrounding that, that customer journey that they're on? So for some of you now here, 2 sides, because I can hear somebody saying, well, what if you don't have customers? What if you don't have a customer to give a customer story or testimonial about how they liked your product or service? Well, this is a key thing that I do in my business when I was first starting out, and I continue to still do it. And I mean, I see entrepreneurs who are 6-figure earners or more, and they continue to do the same thing. So if something works, you're going to continue to do it, right? So what they do is they go and they create a Facebook group. Now, I want to say, go ahead and start creating a Facebook group and start inviting people into your Facebook group. But one thing, please don't add people to your Facebook group without them asking to be there. Because the key thing about that, I don't want you to get frustrated because you're adding maybe friends and people that may be your personal Facebook friends, and you're bringing them into your business group and they are not your target audience. So you'll get frustrated putting out content and all of this stuff when they're basically, not interested in what it is that you do. So you want to make sure that you are only inviting those who have an interest in what it is that you do. So when you bring those people into your Facebook group, what you can start doing is doing challenges. You can even start doing that either on your personal page, or even if you should have a Facebook business page, you can put out a post that you're going to do a 5-day or 7-day challenge, whatever that is, and you can get signups for that. So you can tell them it's going to be held in your Facebook group, so they would have to join in order to partake in that challenge. So that's another way to grow your Facebook group. But what you're going to do is you're going to present them with a course, maybe a 5-day or 7-day course, whatever that is. It could be something as simple as, I don't know, how to do Canva, how to, grow your email list, something that you are an expert in. So you're going to basically give them those tools. And then once they're finished with that, or maybe doing the process, you're going to get feedback. You're going to ask them, how do they like it? Was it, clear? Was the content clear? Did they understand it good? Do they have any questions, like what could be improved upon it? Because that is what you're going to take, and you're going to now use that as your, customer story, even though it's not a customer, but it's something that they have already had an experience with your product or service, even though they didn't pay. But the whole key point of it is, did the product or service help them? Did it enhance their life as far as what it was before? So that's what you're after. You're after that testimonial so that you can use it within your business. So this way, when people that come to your business who don't know anything about you, they can see those who have already had some type of touch with your business. And that builds up more likability and trust within your business. So the last one is personal stories. Now, like I was saying before, share personal story. It doesn't have to be so deep and detailed. It could be just something simple. Like, I'll give you an example of a personal story that I shared on my Instagram page, because it was at one point I was getting frustrated and overwhelmed with just this day-to-day process of having to, just continue to do things I knew I had to do. But I had a lot of mindset issues around my business. I had a scarcity mindset, feeling like, oh, well, everybody's, it's too many people in this space, and, everybody else is getting gigs and this and that. But until I had to work on my mindset and realize, no, there is enough out here for everybody, but you just have to be consistent. Sometimes, you're not showing up consistently hurts and hinders you looking as though you are an expert or authority on this field. Those who know what they're talking about or know what they're doing, they're going to continue to show up even when the results don't prove favorable at times. So that's a part of being in business. As an entrepreneur, you are a risk taker. So being a risk taker means that you are going to, sometimes face results that are not always in your favor, but you have the tenacity to know that that is just part of the business, and you have to continually show up on a regular basis. Because if you opt out, then what is it going to do? It's just going to slow you down. It's going to hinder the process. And then those who have been following you are going to be like, well, what happened? Why are you missing in action? So when you do come back, then it's going to be a little, kind of, should I trust them? Will they flake off on me again? So that's why it's so important for you to be consistent. So share that. I had to share that because I had to let people know, listen, I have to take a break right now from social media because there's some things I have to work out within my own self. So until I had to get those mindset issues and go through some of my own courses for another business or nonprofit that I had to basically go through my own course and deal with my own mindset issues to basically say, listen, if this is something you want, then you have to change how you think about it, and you have to be intentional. So I had to put certain things in place. I had to know that if I was having a feeling like when I got up in the morning, I would say, okay, how do you feel today? Do you feel good? Like you can, get things done? Or are you starting to feel like, oh, what's the use? I would pop on a podcast, an affirmation, something that was going to build me up, something that was going to strengthen me and strengthen my mind. So I could say, listen, you can do this. It is about you getting up and just doing what you need to do until you see the results. And the results started to come forth when there was a blog post that I had written last year, but I repurposed it. And it right now, I don't know, I have like almost 900 comments that I have not even went to even, comment on because it's just too overwhelming. It's already like 600-700 comments that I've already, put out there on my website that I answered, but there's like 800 right now that I have not answered. And it's just like overwhelming. So now I have to basically say my activities each day. What are you doing? Are you doing something that's going to move you closer to your goals and objectives? Are you in busy work? So with that being said, you as an entrepreneur have to know that your story is so powerful and your followers are waiting to hear that. That could be the key thing that connects your brand to your customers that makes them go ahead and purchase from you, makes them sign up for your different, offers, maybe for your online course, maybe for your Facebook group or other things that you may be having coming out. So I just wanted to bring this forth because I believe that this is a part of building your email list, as far as telling stories, letting people know that you are human on the other side of that camera, that we don't always get it right, that we're going through a journey as well as we're growing our business. So you have to relate that to them, like let them know, especially if you're a mom in this space and you have to deal with kids, like kudos to you, because you're having to navigate around all of that and still be able to stay focused on your business. So I think when you can connect others to what it is that you're going through and they can see, wow, this person is really trying and they're really giving me good advice in the process. So I'm going to continue to stay connected to them because I feel there is some type of connection there. So I want to offer you this free resource, and it's called Storytelling. It's a guide that it's going to take you through some of the things that I've explained, but it's going to help you to get your brand story in place. It's going to help you to hit some key components that you need to be putting within your social media platforms, whether you have a website, whether you have a Facebook group, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are, you need to be telling your story, whether it is through your customers' eyes, through your own personal story or brand story. So this way you can come across and let your customers know that, listen, I want to share certain things with you on a deeper level because I understand that we do go through things within our business. So I want to encourage you, don't let that stop you, but continue to overcome it. So again, my name is Michelle Raleigh, and you can follow me across my social media channels. If you like my content, then you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I will be back with more content to help you up level in your business. So have a great day, and I'll be with you on the next video.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.